Hi yogis, welcome back to my channel. Today we have an intermediate yoga flow for strength and confidence. So meet me on the mat. We're going to begin standing, feet wider than hips distance apart. Really ground down through all four corners of the feet, lifting energy up through the arches and letting that travel up through your spine, rolling the shoulders back and tucking the chin slightly in so the crown is shining tall. You can take the hands to the hips or let them be soft at your sides. This is a wonderful power pose just to start connecting to our breath. So nice, slow inhales through the nose and controlled exhales out of the nose. Just allowing yourself to arrive onto the mat and taking notice of how you're feeling today. Let's inhale, stretching the arms high over the head. Exhale, prayer hands come down to heart center. Let's do that again. Inhale, stretching the side body. Exhale, prayer hands come down to heart. One more time. Inhale, reaching high for the sky. Big stretch, big breath. Exhale, prayer hands down to heart center, bringing all of that wonderful energy into your being. Let's shake the hips back and forth, just kind of rocking out that movement. We're going to find a soft micro bend in the knees and begin to do our knocking on heaven's door. So just turning the top half of the body, letting the arms be limp like noodles, and they kind of slap the sides of your body. This just helps to awaken the energies within our soul, stirring up any emotions. It warms up our muscles and our brain. So take it as fast or as slow as feels comfortable for you. You can keep the eyes open or closed. But again, I just really want you to feel that vibration hitting your body as you turn side to side. If you feel comfortable, start to pick up the speed, making sure you haven't lost your inhales and exhales. Stay with me just a little bit longer. And let's begin to slow it down gradually. We don't want to stop all at once. When you get to a neutral position, let's take those arms straight out overhead for our star pose. Another wonderful power pose to harness your confidence and feel empowered. Imagine positive energy is shooting out of your fingertips. And on an exhale, let's bring the feet together. Stepping to face the front of your mat, taking the right foot into the hand and just stretching out that right hip flexor. So really point the tailbone down to the ground. Chest is lifted and proud. And make sure that you don't let that shoulder splay open. Make sure it's square to the front. Beautiful job. Let's switch sides. Taking that left foot into the hand. Keeping the abdominals tight and engaged. And dropping that knee to the ground. Feeling that lengthening sensation in the left hip flexor. Take a nice deep inhale in here. And on an exhale, we'll softly release the foot back to the mat. Beautiful work, guys. Coming all the way to the front of the mat, inhale, stretching the arms overhead. Exhale, dive it forward into our forward fold. Inhale, half lift, long neck. Exhale, plant the hands to step back into our high plank. Lower into chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, lift those hips, pushing back into a downward facing dog. Give yourself a moment, maybe walk the dog out, bending the left knee and then the right. Just working out any kinks as we start to warm up the body here. Always returning to the breath. Notice what's going on. Are you inhaling into the chest or belly? When you're ready, you can step the feet to the top of the mat for forward fold and slowly stacking vertebra on top of vertebra. Meet me in mountain pose. Palms facing forward. Inhale, arms reach overhead. Exhale, let it go. Dive forward, letting the head be heavy. Inhale, finding length through the spine. Exhale to step it back into that high plank. Belly button to spine. We're going to take our chaturanga to up dog, opening the heart, letting things shine through. Exhale, pressing back into that downward facing dog again. See if you can reach the heels closer to the ground this time. Elbow points are to the mat as the elbow creases shine forward. You're clawing through the fingertips to take the weight out of the wrists. Good job. Step to the top of the mat. Let's take ragdoll arms here. So just crossing the arms, letting gravity do all of the work to find some decompression in that spine. You can sway left to right if it feels good. Maybe nod the head yes and no. Or even bend the knees if that feels better, taking the belly to the tops of the thighs. Beginning to roll up through the spine, coming to our mountain pose again. Palms face forward, and let's lift the corners of the mouth, finding a beautiful smile. Inhale, arms reach overhead. Exhale, dive it forward, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, grounding the palms and stepping the feet back into plank. Inhale to prep. Exhale, elbows hug into the rib cage, chaturanga. Inhale to up dog. Exhale, lift those hips, push it back into your downward facing dog. Wonderful work. Let's inhale the right toes high to the sky, bending that knee and feeling a deeper stretch in that right hip flexor. Now following the toes all the way over, let's flip it into your wild thing. Really opening the front body. This is a very vulnerable position, so just trust yourself. The ground is there to catch you if you fall. And then we'll gently reverse that motion into our three-legged dog. Lower the right toes down to the mat, stepping them up in between the hands for our lunge. Reach the arms high to the sky, stretching out that front body. This should feel really amazing if you've been sitting for a long time. Great for releasing tension. Good job, guys. Ground the palms, stepping the right foot back to meet the left. Let's take that chaturanga to our up dog. Just flush it out. Push it back into your downward facing dog and just give yourself a moment. Get any wiggles out. Check in with the neck and shoulders. Inhale, left toes high to the sky for our three-legged dog. Bringing that heel to the glute to stretch out that left hip flexor. And then continue the motion, taking the left toes all the way down to the ground for our wild thing, also called a flip dog. Opening the chest, opening the heart. Staying connected to the breath and the mind. When you feel satisfied, reverse that motion, coming back into our three-legged dog. And then exhale, stepping the left foot up in between the hands to take our crescent lunge. Really pressing energy out of the back heel, keeping the front knee bent and sinking those hips down to the mat. Palms come to the ground. We step the left foot back to meet the right, and let's flow it out. We'll all meet in downward facing dog or child's pose. If you need to take a bit of a break, there's no shame in that. Just find what feels good to your body. Let's come down to all fours, sitting the bum back onto the heels for our hero. Just taking a couple of shoulder circles, letting go of any tension that's built up. Let's do a little bit of self-care massage here. So any points in the chest, neck, or shoulders that maybe need a little bit of extra love today, let's just rub that out. You can take the arm in circles, backwards and forwards. Just finding a bit of intuitive movement here to let something go. Taking your attention to the other arm if you haven't switched sides already. Just really squishing those muscles around, letting them know that you care for them and you're so happy for all of the work that they're doing for you. Just rolling that shoulder out and then taking it into our arm circle. Nice and loose. Don't worry about what shape you're making. Just make it feel good for your body. Good job, guys. Let's find some stillness and start to take a head roll, dropping the chin to the chest and then ear over to shoulder, opening the chin to the sky, and then other ear goes to the other shoulder. Breathing deeply and slowly. Go ahead and reverse the circle if you haven't already. Beautiful work, guys. Taking our last head circle here, and we'll meet back in neutral. Pressing up to your feet and then rolling up to our mountain pose, nice and slow. We're going to find our footing on the earth and start to take our tree pose. So grounding down through that standing leg. The working leg that is off of the ground can rest on the ground with your toes in a kickstand. You can take it to the calf or all the way up on the upper inner thigh. Just make sure you don't rest it on your knee. You can reach your arms out straight, growing your branches. If you so choose, it's also totally fine to keep the hands at heart center. If you really want to challenge yourself, close your eyes. It's super hard to balance with your eyes closed. On an exhale, release everything down and shake it out before we move to the other side. Great work. So again, if you want to kickstand the toes and just work in that energy, that's totally fine. You can also take the foot all the way up to the inner thigh. I'm going to rest it on my calf. And you're pressing that working knee open to the side. Imagine that you're in one straight line from your standing foot all the way up through your pelvis, through your spine, and energy is shooting out of the crown of your head. So your spine is nice and long and tall, supporting you, giving you strength and foundation. Option to grow your branches if you want to take the arms out high and wide. And then challenge for the day, close your eyes and see if you can balance with your eyes closed. Wonderful work. Release everything down to the mat, shake out those feet, and let's do a little bit of body beats. So make some fists and pound those quadriceps, your glutes, the calves, just getting any stagnant energy moving in the body. We're almost done. So let's stretch out those hip flexors again. We're gonna take dancer's pose. So kicking that right foot into the right hand and just tilting forward as you find a nice balance here. The chest is open and your standing leg is strong. Try to lift your weight up out of that hip. It really helps with your balance. Gaze is out over the front hand. And just take a few steady inhales and exhales before releasing everything mindfully and switching to the other side. Nice work. Just find some stillness. Take one cleansing breath before moving on. So grabbing that left foot with the left hand, right arm reaches high to the sky. You're lifting your weight out of the right hip. Begin to kick that left foot into the left hand as you reach the right hand forward, finding your drishti, your point of focus, out over the right fingertips. Now, if this is a little too tricky for you, just stay with the hip flexor stretch like we did in the beginning of class. But the earth is always there to catch you, so we all fall. Don't be embarrassed. There's nothing to be ashamed of. Just play around with the pose and see how it feels. Beautiful. Slowly returning to our standing position with control. Let's all meet in Tadasana, our mountain pose. Feet are hips distance apart. Tailbone is dropping towards the mat. If you feel safe, close down the eyes. Inhale, stretching the arms up overhead. Exhale, prayer hands come down to heart center. Let's do that again. Inhale, stretching, opening the side body. Exhale, prayer hands come to heart. Last time, inhale, really stretching the arms up. Exhale, let's take it all the way down to the mat to begin our cool down. We're gonna take a reverse table here. So grounding the feet and the hands, lifting the hips high to the sky. You can throw the head back if it feels right. On an exhale, gently release the hips back down to the ground. And release the legs out long on the mat in front of you for our seated forward fold. Feet are flexed, and the bend comes from the hips, not the lower back. So sometimes just sitting up tall is enough. We don't want to put any additional strain on that lower back area. Should feel a wonderful sensation in the back of the legs and maybe in the back of the neck as well if you let it hang heavy. Scooting a little closer to the front of the mat, let's roll down slowly to lie flat on our backs. Pull those knees into chest and give yourself a big hug, rocking side to side. Just releasing any negativity. Let something go. Beautiful work, guys. Send those legs long onto the mat for our final pose, Shavasana. Stay here as long as you like if you have the time. Taking nice, steady, deep, big belly breaths in. And cleansing exhales out of the mouth. If you have to go, you can roll to one side and meet me in a comfortable seated position. Spine tall. Palms on the knees. Inhale, arms come overhead one more time. Exhale. Let's bow down, thanking your body for your wonderful work today. Good job, guys. I'm so proud of you. I would love it if you clicked that thumbs up button, shared the video with your family and friends, and of course, subscribe to the channel. See you next time.